Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing good. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to the channel. We are getting very close to 400 subscribers. Really trying to get over the 400 subscriber mark. So please make sure that you subscribe. But I wanted to talk about Pagani today. Pagani have just released one of their most extreme cars ever. If you haven't seen the Pagani trailer, I'll leave a link in the description below. But a couple of days ago, Pagani have just released their Pagani Huayra V12R, which takes inspiration from the most iconic and most ludicrous Pagani ever built, the Pagani Zonda R. So it is the Huayra's interpretation of the R. Now the R typically represents the track focused extreme Paganis. So this is one of their most extreme cars, and it will be joining the collection when I can get my hands on a model, either from BBR or MR collections. But the V12R that's been announced a couple of days ago, it combines elements of the Huayra and the Pagani Zonda. So let's talk about these two cars, do a comparison between the two, talk about my Pagani collection, what's coming, and let's do a comparison video between these two. So as I've just mentioned, this is the Pagani Zonda R, where the Huayra R has taken inspiration from. This is Pagani's most track focused and extreme cars they've ever made, and they also followed this up with the Pagani Zonda Revolution here, which I've got as well. But this is the car that they have brought to life again with the Huayra, and let's talk about this and do the comparison video between the two. So as we can see here, the Auto Art Pagani Zonda R, this is the first Zonda R. So the R is the more track focused version of the car. Now with the new Pagani that they've just released, the Huayra R is replacing this. So it is the new version of the R, which is the more track focused variant of the model. And again, Pagani have done a great job. You can see the similarities between the old version and the new version, which I will show you guys in a minute. The old Pagani Huayra BC is their old track focused car. The new one which they've released, the Pagani Huayra R, is replacing the Huayra BC. So you can see the differences between the two cars and where Pagani's going with the Zonda and the Huayra. So let's start off with the comparison video between the Pagani Zonda and the Pagani Huayra BC, and talk about the brand new Pagani Huayra R. Now again, Pagani have an insane lineup of cars, and some that I'm very interested in, and hopefully that will be joining the collection when they are released. But let's talk about these two models. These two models are from BBR model cars. They are both out of stock from the website, but if you guys are looking for one of these models, you might be able to find them on eBay. That's probably your best bet. So let's start off with the comparison video, comparing the Zonda and the Huayra, talking about the new Pagani and all things Pagani that is joining the collection. So the Zonda, again, doesn't need much introduction. It is an iconic car, one of Pagani's flagship models, definitely the more expensive versions than the Huayra. They have absolutely skyrocketed in value, the prices of these manual, naturally aspirated V12 Pagani Zondas. But BBR have done a great job replicating the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. I've done an in-depth review on this model, so if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description for that. But let's run over some of the main features. Now again, with this new Pagani that they've just released, you can see elements of the Zonda within the lights, the front end, the side of it. It's very similar to the Zonda R, which I'll show you guys with the Auto Art version as well. Some of the detailing, some of the styling, the huge spoiler on the back of the model, all resembles the Pagani Zonda R. So the Zonda R is again the hyper car that is focused for a track. Pagani have just released their numbers for the new Pagani V12 R. It produces 850 brake horsepower. It revs to 9,000 RPM and it weighs just over 1 ton. So it's going to be an absolute track monster. Definitely going to be quicker than the Huayra BC because it's going to be a more focused version of the Huayra BC, which I've got here. So this is Pagani's attempt at making the Huayra more track focused. The BC is a more lighter, higher brake horsepower version of the road car Huayra. This is still fine for road use, but it is more focused to track. So it's lighter, it's got a different carbon fibre, and it has a slightly tweaked engine. But again, the new one is going to be replacing the Huayra BC. The Huayra R is their next lineup, and one which I am absolutely desperate to have in the collection to go alongside the Zonda and the Huayra BC. If you guys have seen the new Pagani Huayra R, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you guys prefer the Zondas? Do you prefer the Huayras? Do you like where Pagani's going with their new hypercars? I certainly do. I'll leave a link in the description for that new Pagani video that they've just released. But again, I mean, for me, you can't beat the Zonda. This is Pagani's last ever Pagani Zonda that they've ever made. The HP Barchetta. HP are the initials of the company's owner, Horatio. And again, this is one of their most flagship model cars that BPI have ever made. So let me know in the comments below which ones you prefer, and I'll see you guys very soon for more videos to come.